This is my friend Zamir, a man made famous by the philosopher-cook Anthony Bourdain. Zamir literally means for peace in Russian. And he appeared in more episodes of Anthony Bourdain's shows than any other guest. Bourdain loved Zamir. Maybe it was because they were so different from one another. Whatever it was, Tony regarded him as a friend, and they traveled the world together on television. Then, Anthony Bourdain died, leaving Zamir alone and adrift. And now, Zamir has to face his future without his famous friend. How can he make a new life without Tony? Feeling desperate, Zamir began a search for his own redemption, and that led him to me.
Big cameras up on.
And then things in world politics got complicated and brutal, separating Zamir and I, and jeopardizing both this film and Zamir's safety. This is his story.
Truth. What is truth? What is the truth about my life since Tony died? Do I drink too much?
Whew.
Am I riding Tony's coattails?
Your girlfriend is not pregnant, don't call her.
Did Tony really kill himself? Truth is, since he left, I have been running my ass off to make a life for myself.
So the price in New York City, $29.99. In Buffalo, I think.
Sometimes it's too much. The truth is, I'm lost.
What the hell was that?
The Russian president says a military operation is now underway in eastern Ukraine.
Let's go ahead and roll, because this is all part of the process. All right, let's give it a whirl. There you are.
Oh, hey, Steven.
Hey. So lot's changed suddenly.
Yeah. For the moment, it's okay. And, you know, if you read between the lines, it seems that nobody calls what's happening a war. So that's why they kind of say it's a special operation. That's why to promote peace is kind of doubtful in the official response.
So from this standpoint, there's a little bit of deja vu.
On February 24th, 2022, Vladimir Putin ordered his Russian armies to invade Ukraine. And as that war began to unfold and escalate, I continued to worry about getting cut off from my friend Zamir, a Russian living in Moscow who has Crimean roots.
It was given to me as a gift.
And now, I'm worried if I'll ever see him again. We've been working for the past 3 years on a story about his friendship with Bourdain. This film is about Zamir himself. It's about his quest for redemption and how he's rebuilding his life now that his friend Tony is gone. Our story begins in Russia, the place where Bourdain and Zamir first met.
When I was a kid, I had no hopes, I had no dreams of any walls to come down. I never imagined that anything could change or would change. Being part of the Soviet Union at any age, especially being at the Red Square, where there was like manifestation of people embracing the ruling class. I would never have a chance to travel outside to see what the world is about. In America, you could say anything you want without too much of repercussions. I don't think it's the same around the world, especially in the country I represent. Tony taught me to see the world in a different way. I think he gave me a unique chance to broaden my own horizons. Now that Tony is gone, I realized that he taught me how to see things differently. And now I start thinking about looking at the different world outside of my box, outside of my own country, outside of my own point of view. And now, when I think about the times we spent together, I realize more and more that he gave me a gift. And that is to see the world in a new way.
Zamir's worldview was shaped by the Cold War and Russia, the land of his forefathers. To understand Zamir is to understand the Cold War. Perhaps a war not so much fought with weapons as with culture. Zamir grew up in Moscow as a kid under the old Soviet system. He lived in a typical communal apartment where he shared cramped living conditions with several other families.
So this is the place where I lived since 1962 to 1968 in the 8th floor apartment, communal, with 2 other families sharing the same toilet and the same kitchen.
Zamir told me that he sees America as the land of opportunity. It's a place you can pursue your dreams. And in so many words, he told me that the old Soviet system was not all that. And that frustrated him. I can only say that while we were filming in Russia, we had to be diplomatic on how we worded our sentiments. In Russia, the idea of freedom is just a dream. Zamir is a hustler. He's a fixer. He gets things done. As we toured Zamir's Russia, we took an overnight train to St. Petersburg to film inside a Russian submarine at the Leningrad Naval Base, home to Russia's Baltic Fleet. Ever since Tony and he joked about buying an old submarine and turning it into a nightclub, Zamir has been a man obsessed.
Wow, this is pretty tight. So no jumping, you told me, right? And head is a problem always.
Yeah, I show you now. Follow your. Yeah, now the following to room number 1. Yeah, this is big torpedoes room, the biggest room of submarine here. Very, very carefully, please. Don't forget about this is 70 when I informed you before.
Sure. Comrade Chief Engineer, I'm a good pupil. Ah! I hit my shoulder.
Carefully, because it's
Oh,
smell.
yeah.
See?
What's this?
This one is really torpedo. Now I show you, this is, you see, blends. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 blends. You see in front of you, you can see this is 4 triggers, you see? And according, of course, number 1, number 1, number 2, number 2, number 3, number 4, same. Torpedo tube is ready, okay. Shoot, same, everything is there. Only we received order from captain.
Wow, it's kind of scary.
Yeah, terrible. Sometimes it's scary, sometimes terrible. But very interesting.
Comrade, that's the real shit. So may I?
Yeah, you can try, of course.
Listen,
Yeah.
it's like sex. You really need to press the right button, guys, you know? How many toilets are meant for the crew? How many people can basically use it at the same time? Is that it?
Yeah. Other toilet in room number 5, this open toilet, used for seamen only, yeah, usually like this.
So it's kind of classy society, so some people allow
Yeah,
to
because
shit.
this is, you see, this is room number 3. This is main room of submarine. Always keep watching, this is 5, 8 person.
So guys,
Yes.
never shit on the wrong toilet, so that's important.
And it was a wrap.
It's the real thing.
Our next stop on Zamir's road to redemption was back in the United States. I figured the best place for him to start his tour was in Buffalo, New York, a place that Bourdain said was one of the most fucked up cities in America. And Zamir fell in love.
Hey guys. Thank you. It's good to know. Ladies, hi. What's happening? First time at the tailgate. What's in it?
There's beer in here. You have to pour some beer in here. And then you have to pick this card and you have to say red or black. You gotta pick
Red or black? It seems like a casino. Red.
What do you pick? All right,
Red.
flip it over. Go ahead, flip it over.
Oh, you gotta drink this.
Drink it.
Cheers.
Love America. Na zdоровье.
You can take as long as you need.
Thank you.
You can try.
Na zdоровье. One for all.
There you go.
Yay.
Good job. Oh, good job.
Wow. When I landed in Buffalo and went to Buffalo Bill's tailgate party, I met some black men. So, first of all, it's good to see you. So, Zamir, my name means Peacemaker. I see peace in your eyes, and you're here to, you know, have fun and entertain yourself. So that's what I think unites us. The biggest thing I learned while attending the Bill's tailgate was a very interesting feeling of community, like just love and peace. Love it. For me, being in America is a privilege. People here don't always appreciate how good they really have it. It seems that even poor people here live better than most of the rest of the world. They have running water, heat, and food. And now it seems people are getting angry and upset, especially in America. Racism has become a point of anger and rage among Americans, a subject that seems to be dividing America itself. I think if Tony were here, he would see things for what they are, conflicted and problematic, and yet wonderful in its own way. But this is not my fight. I don't want to fight. I want peace for all of us someday.
Zamir's next stop was to meet my friend Corey, a filmmaker who took him on a tour to see his Buffalo.
So this is the east side of Buffalo. Yeah. And a few blocks down is the border of a town called Cheektowaga.
Zamir's spirits were high as they walked and talked. Corey filled him in on what it was like growing up here. And as Corey and Zamir got back to their car, they ran into somebody we might call an OG, or original gangster. His name was Jared.
In Russia, how many people are... So this is just your personal style.
He said, being from Russia, like if you were dressed like that, you'd be considered made.
Very
made
stylish.
man. I said, you know, for us, that's an OG.
Yeah, kind of O.J. Simpson.
No, O.G.
I'm sorry.
You said O.J.? No O.J. O.G.
Oh, see, my
Original
English is not
gangster.
original.
Gangster.
O.G.
That's what we call her. He's older than me, so how I pay homage, I say, what's up, OG?
O.G.
I'm gonna assume.
No, thank you for giving us a chance to be introduced.
Thanks, boss. I appreciate you.
After meeting Jared, they were off to Corey's cousin Chris's place to have some lunch and a few drinks, Buffalo style. Chris is a firefighter by trade, but his passion is cooking. And as they walked in, they were met with the sounds and the smells of steak cooking on the griddle.
What's up? Here, what's going on?
You must be Mexican, right? We need a drug for sale kind of thing. I'm hungry and thirsty.
And to get the ball rolling, Corey was about to give Zamir a lesson on how Buffalo drinks.
First, we know.
The oldest popping the cherry.
Well, first we normally tap the bottle before we open it. So, I think the appropriate toast would be, first of all, thank you for being interested in not only in our country, but our city. But we love our home, and we invited you to our home. So, to that, I want to say thank you, and definitely rest in peace to Anthony Bourdain. Absolutely.
Thank you, guy. I feel it.
And then it was time for Zamir to take over and give some drinking instruction.
Fill out with you.
Meditation.
Oh my gosh.
I feel that. Because he filled me.
Woo.
Part of Zamir's secret is you must have food when you drink. Without it, you just won't last. Toasting also helps control the pace of the drink.
Show respect. When you have the full thing, you want us to get drunk.
Remember, Zamir is a professional.
Everything has a meaning.
I like that. Makes perfect
Logic.
Toast after toast after toast. I think it must have been at least 6, plus a few retakes. But now Zamir was ready to get through the rest of his day. And it was time for Zamir to go get a haircut at a place called Fade Gods, run by Corey's high school friend, Duran.
Here's Zamir.
Thank you, sir.
All right. So, Zamir, this is Duran. Duran, Zamir.
How's it going? See you. Good, thank you.
Zamir is from Russia. Okay. Yeah, he's doing a documentary basically exploring America, and I'm kind of showing him around Buffalo. He needs a haircut, so.
At this point, things were going great on his tour of Bourdain's America. As Zamir sat in his barber chair, he was feeling no pain. He was only too happy to offer instructions on life to his new young friends.
In Russia, unfortunately, these days, there is not much tolerance. You are not in the majority in most European countries, right?
Right.
They invite you for a drink. That's where you cannot mess up. So they do like this, now, boom, take on the same way. So you're ready for a challenge.
So when I go to Russia, somebody.
Yeah, give you this. You say, oh, you don't say, oh, what's this? You just boom, and you open and drink without asking. So motherfucker, give it back to me. I say, oh, okay. The Americans don't.
Well, one thing's for sure. It was a long day for Zamir. Lots of shots, lots of food, and lots of conversation. And with the buzzing of the hair trimmers, it was time for a nap. And after Corey woke Zamir, they got right back to their conversation about America.
Zamir, sorry to wake you. You good?
I'm not sure if I'm coming or going.
It's been a long day for you. But what I was saying, we brought up like stereotypes and me being careful with that. So you being Russian, I didn't immediately think, oh, okay, he must be a heavy drinker. Because that would be equivalent, okay, me being black and whatever, like you said, growing up and what you've seen on television.
Finished with his haircut and refreshed from his accidental nap, Zamir was feeling excited. And he was primed and ready to go out on the town to see his friend Gino play at a neighborhood bar. This was the Buffalo Zamir wanted to see again. And apparently, one bar was not enough. After we had a few beers and the night was still young, we headed off to see another uniquely Buffalo band called Rabbit Jaw. Bourdain had first brought Zamir to Buffalo in 2009 to prove to him just how fucked up capitalism was. But that trick backfired. Now, Zamir calls Buffalo his second home and even has his own brand of Russian-style vodka distilled in the area. Zamir's quest to understand America and try to better understand his friend Tony may have started here in Buffalo, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. Understanding America boils down to a matter of perception and viewpoint. Next, we headed south to Kentucky, the heart of American bourbon country. We were there to meet American whiskey expert Bernie Lubbers. He helped us wrangle a meeting inside the massive Heaven Hill Distillery in Bardstown. Bourbon is to America what vodka is to Russia. And Zamir is rather much the quintessential Russian drinker. In fact, he's an expert.
Zamir?
As Bernie and Zamir got down to it, it wasn't long before Zamir's playful side came out.
Yes, I love this.
This must have been the side that Bourdain saw and loved so much.
Ambassador for Heaven Hill Distillery. This is our flagship brand, Evan Williams. Oh, absolutely, you can open it.
I know it's your baby, like I don't let women touch my baby
It's just...
unnecessarily.
As the afternoon rolled on, the conversation steered towards ancestral drinking habits.
You need to entertain yourself, your friends, your guests, like what would be the average refill on your personal bar at home?
Let's just say when my father was drinking, who lived to be 94 years old, my dad would drink one of these a day.
Seriously.
Seriously. Well, when you're
Check
90,
your DNA.
when you're 90, there's not a lot of other things to do.
Okay.
And now it was Zamir's turn to share.
Dad, my late father, would have friends coming over the weekend. Sure. I definitely know that by Monday, probably 2 bottles like this size would be gone. Yeah. Because, for him, he had to be at the World War II front when he was just 16, turning 17. His whole family of Crimean Jews were executed by Nazis, 1941. So he had to take a revenge, like, young man. So in the Russian army, in the Soviet army at that time, I'm not sure about nowadays, a 50-gram shot, about the same size, would be given to soldiers at the end of the day when they were like in fatigue, maybe even like no food, but this Holy Spirit would kind of charge them. Vodka, of course. Спасибо, товарищ Bernie.
Cheers.
Next on Zamir's short visit to Kentucky was a quick sit-down with his friend Chris, who was, ironically, an engineer on an American submarine during the Cold War. And they talked about the impact that Bourdain had on his life.
That was very big.
Throughout the making of this film, it has become apparent that at a certain time each day, Zamir needs his nap. And today, there would be no nap. No nap at all. But we had to push through anyway.
And to me, Anthony's the epitome of the bad boy chef, okay? That's what I like about him. And that's kind of like the rebel as well. And that's how I am. And then watching Bourdain cook and the way he brought
But
himself.
soon, it became clear that it was time to pull the plug and pack it out. And we hit the road for our next stop to the great state of Arizona. Arizona is a place of beauty and controversy. To get a better understanding of Bourdain himself and the America he saw, Zamir spent a few days with my brother Jim, someone who has traveled the world and appreciates Anthony Bourdain.
Que le habían otorgado la Cámara de Diputados. Este proceso, según versión, además que ningún funcionario de nivel medio o superior podrá tener auto del año con dinero del erario público. Los legisladores también pretenden establecer.
I guess I gotta wonder, I mean, what do you think of the wall? What would Bourdain have thought of that wall? I mean, it's kind of a striking thing.
3 parties and no one is happy. Neither the indigenous people,
right,
whose land is right there,
right,
nor
everything is show, or, you know, is it for real? And it seems that it waxes and wanes from one direction to the other.
well, every side has the upside and downside, right? So every opponent and proponent need to listen to each other,
right?
And the way Tony's show was helping us to find a compromise. So that's what I'm saying. There should be a compromise.
And he had a quote, and I don't remember it exactly, but it was something that says, travel changes you. As you move through this world and life, you change things slightly. You leave marks behind, and in turn, the world leaves marks on you.
So finally, after hours of driving, we arrived to take a stroll along America's most famous border. As we got a chance to get out and walk around, it also gave Jim a chance to tell Zamir about some of the dangers that surround this controversial structure.
This is it. The wall. Long live America, the land of the free and the brave. Hi.
Look how green it is. We get the monsoons. This is the only place in the United States where monsoons actually happen.
Oh.
And basically during June, July, and August, we get the vertical buildup and we get the humidity. And basically this whole thing is going to change in about 30 minutes once the sun goes down. So just imagine, forget the wall for a moment. Just imagine, hey, you got to cross the wall. Now, Phoenix is about 100 miles in that direction. And that's the Tohono O'odham Indian Nation over there. And there's no border patrol there. So some of the people try to make towards that area, but it's absolutely inhospitable.
So they don't need it.
Yeah, and so people are pretty much funneled up through this area. And this is where the drugs come up.
While Zamir and Jim walked and talked, it gave Jim a chance to explain that, flaws and all, this was part of America. Bourdain's America.
You know, Bourdain's America is the way that he showed it in all of his episodes, from West Virginia to the Rust Belt episodes of Buffalo and Detroit and Baltimore to West Texas. You know, all of these things, this is Bourdain's America.
As they kept walking along this barrier between 2 of the 10 richest countries in the world, Zamir thought about Tony as the sun began to set.
Tony, thank you for giving me a chance to look at the world through a different perspective now. Say no to the borders, no to the walls. So my hand is already illegal immigrant. Ay, ay, ay. Tony, I'm sure you're getting a kick out of there. Americans not happy.
Americans not happy.
Mexicans not happy.
Mexicans not happy. The cows, I don't know.
The cows are not
I
happy.
don't know.
We got back in Jim's truck and drove to our campsite several miles out in the Sonoran Desert. Despite its beauty, this is a dangerous, inhospitable place, especially for the migrants trying to cross the border.
I did not know Tony personally, so I knew Tony through his books. I knew Tony through his films and everything, and I know Tony through you. So, you know, when I think about Anthony Bourdain and what it was about him that was different and what it was that made a connection with me is that, you know, I mean, he was like the rest of us. To me, this is Bourdain's America.
That night, after we got back to camp, like a harbinger of things to come, we could see that a severe desert storm was making its way towards us. But we decided to keep filming anyway.
Well, listen, when you showed me that wall and walked me down the wall and wanted me to experience life, like behind the wall, I guess, it's like people are divided.
Well, it's not that people are divided, it's that there are several things that can be true at the same time. In the media culture today, and especially with social media, you to show your approval, you like something. It's a binary choice, and so it's a digital choice in an analog world, but yet the media wants us to pick one or the other. So this is what the Soviet Union, this is when you and I were kids. Do you want the red pill or the blue pill? This is it. And Bourdain basically let people make their own decisions. Everybody has their own model of the world. So the people in Uzbekistan look at their world this way. The people in Georgia may look at it this way. The people in other places may look at it another way. And it's not a question of right or wrong. It's a question of this is the way that they see the world. There's no easy answer, and it's not going to be an easy task. But if we're all committed towards it, and we're committed to being open-minded.
Suddenly, the storm was right on top of us. Lightning struck just to our right, less than 200 feet away. So, with one last drink, we ran for the campers. In the morning, I took Zamir about 40 miles east of our campsite at Sasabe to the city of Nogales, a city split in two. Nogales has been a crossroad community for 1,000 years, and it was part of the El Camino Real trade route. By 1880, the first trading post was built here, and in 1914, the Mexican revolutionary leader Pancho Villa occupied the small town. Today, the city of Nogales is actually two cities, one in Sonora, Mexico, with a population of 220,000, and the other in Arizona, with a population of only 20,000.
Yeah, well. You mean this bumpy, dirty?
Finally, after about an hour of driving, we pulled over and I let Zamir out to see for himself America's version of the Berlin Wall. And I could see he didn't like it. Not one bit. And as he walked, the wall reminded him of his upbringing in Russia and the Cold War.
Every other 100 meters, look up and down. I see the people.
But it's what we found a little further down the road that surprised us both.
On this side or on the other side, because it's like a prison camp. It's like Gulag to me. And you know, Gulag in the back mindset of my ancestry, it's where people were sent because the state didn't need them because they were thinking differently. Fucking Gulag.
As we got back in the car, Zamir took another hit of the hooch.
Tony, thank you.
And that seemed to loosen him up a bit. And this was where I began to realize Zamir wasn't actually drinking. He was tipping his flask back to make it look like he was drinking for the camera. I'd seen him do this more than once, so perhaps it was all just an act for the camera after all.
Let's make America smart again.
Yeah, please.
It's okay. Whew. I've got enough.
Then, as we continued filming, something weird happened.
Right there. Camarados! Huerto, unido, amasela chido. Bottoms up.
You're just walking?
Kind of walking and talking to myself. All of a sudden, I see people, probably fans of Anthony Bourdain show. I'm not surprised now. This seems his place. He would have enjoyed walking with me over the wall. So that's the fans of Anthony Bourdain. Look at this.
Way up there.
Yeah.
That's a little scary because they might be cartel guys.
What do you mean?
They're watching us.
Why do they need me specifically?
They're trying to guide people to jump over the wall.
No way.
And we soon found out that this wasn't the only thing trying to get across this border.
Hi. He's crossing the border.
Yeah.
Oh, call the border control. Illegal.
What the fuck is that?
That's a tarantula. Crossing the border. He's like, I don't know no borders.
Did you set it up?
No.
No fucking way.
It should be noted here that in the month that we filmed, 43 sets of human remains were found in the Arizona border region just 2 days prior to our arrival in the Tucson sector. Agents encountered 197 migrants in the harsh desert terrain. And, unknowingly, we had an encounter of our own while filming. We didn't know it at the time, but just 15 feet away from us, 2 migrants, a man and a woman, were hiding in an old redoubt directly across from us, waiting for nightfall. They must have been terrified as they heard the sound of our drone buzzing overhead. The numbers speak for themselves, going from just over 500,000 in 2017 to nearly 1.2 million in 2022. The border and the sheer numbers of people trying to cross is a valid issue. Something that was not lost on Zamir.
Say no to the borders, no to the walls.
Zamir is all the places he has been. He is the things he has seen and felt before and after meeting his friend Tony.
Viva Mexico!
Leaving the wall behind, we headed back to the northeastern United States to visit a place that has been largely forgotten since the Cold War ended. Given the fact that he had toured a Russian submarine, I thought this would be a good place for Zamir to see. And fact is, 40 years ago, he would have been shot on sight for setting foot inside this place. I managed to get us a private tour inside this former American nuclear missile base that now sits mostly abandoned. As we drove around, I kept thinking I should have brought my radiation detector.
These doors weigh 1,000 pounds.
Zamir has seen this kind of stuff before.
Before the war, when they were
And
building
soon,
them,
his
steel
mischievous
was
side came out.
So they made them out of solid concrete with steel.
There was Zamir, a man of peace, touring a place designed for nuclear war. It was either a bit overwhelming or boring. But whatever it was, this was the flip side to the Russian submarine that Zamir and Bourdain joked about in Ukraine.
It's a disco. It's got definite possibilities.
The disco would just, attract crowds from all over the world.
So, after we finished our visit inside the munitions bunker, our next stop was the Q
You see,
area.
there's the signs there, too.
This was a place that they used to store piles of nuclear warheads.
What they call the King Tut blocks there.
As Zamir's friend was explaining how the defenses were set up here, they walked up on a small man
it's
gate.
just small mines.
That was once the perimeter of a shoot-to-kill zone in an area called Sector 17. At the time, neither Zamir or I had any idea that this was actually a minefield.
I was going to point out, because you see each one of these posts is isolated from the ground and it has an insulator. If you go through here, this is an interesting area.
And then Chris opened the gate.
Yeah, this is a worse idea.
Why?
Mines.
Mines?
Mines.
Oh, fuck.
Are you sure?
They took them out.
Do we know it?
Oh, yeah. Well, they were just toe poppers anyway. They're 45 caliber. You step on them and it fires a round straight through your foot.
Chris, yeah, let's ask.
And that was when Zamir decided to stick a fork in it. He was done. He'd had enough. Our last stop on Zamir's tour of America was to visit a country within a country, nestled along the Canadian border. To understand America is to understand that it's only been here for a couple of 100 years. The United States of America, that is. But on this spot, for nearly 1,000 years, this land was occupied by the people of the Six Nations and the Haudenosaunee, which means the people of the Longhouse. This is a place with its own customs, its own government, and law enforcement. It's a country surrounded by a country. Today, Zamir is with his friend Peter to learn about this place and some of its customs. As the day went on, they had an early dinner, and as evening approached, they went down to the gun range. As Zamir watched this display of firepower, he couldn't help but wonder why they had all these guns.
Out here, on our nation, on our sovereign nation here, we are our own entity. We are our own state. So we're not governed by the laws of the New York State and the other government, any government for that fact of the matter. And, you know, this is what we feel we need to protect our houses.
So you won't wait for the policeman, like calling 911 or whatever is the hotline to come and...
We are the police. And let me tell you what, man, these guys have been there without question and ready to do whatever to defend our community and just to try to make it better, you know? Safe for our kids.
And then, with the formalities out of the way, it was showtime.
Ready to rock and roll.
What do you think?
Cool.
Truth be told, Zamir hates guns. He grew up in Moscow, one of the largest cities in the world, and a place where private ownership of guns is not a right. Night was falling. Zamir was exhausted. It was time for bed. When we gathered for filming the next day, I finally got a chance to see who Zamir really is. So much of the time, I see him surrounded with people who want to be his friend, to have their picture taken with him, to take a drink with him. But Zamir is not a drunk or a clown. He's caring and loving, the kind of person we could use more of in this world. He is gentle and sensitive. He was raised right, and his morals run deep. Maybe the word is proper, old school.
Sarah with love. The young trooper. Yeah.
Oh, how pretty.
What do you think?
Old school or not, today Zamir is going to get very close to some realities of country living.
Oh, yeah.
a reality that city people don't often experience.
So go kill a chicken and, you know, harvest
As
it.
tradition dictates, Peter is pulling out all the stops, and it seems that Zamir is not sure he's ready for what's coming next.
Now that the days are counted, you can see that sadness in the eyes. Hey, chicks.
What's happening?
How do you, like, recognize them?
Well, one's got a gimp.
Yes. Who's your favorite?
Hey, he's gonna die. That one right
No,
there.
it's not funny.
He just volunteered himself.
You look like a butcher, right?
He just volunteered himself. Yes, he did.
Do you know the French word for those who were kind of putting people for guillotine?
The executioner?
Yeah. You look like one.
So this guy here donated himself.
So you're gonna eat this baby, right?
Oh, yeah. As soon as that water's ready to go, this says we're gonna give him a whack, but it's all about, we gotta have that water ready. As soon as that water's ready. Walking a mile, walking a mile.
Listen.
Green
honestly,
mile, walking the green mile.
Listen, you don't need my company, right?
Dead man walking.
Sorry.
Oh, I need you.
No, I can't.
But it's not now.
At first, Zamir loved this farm-to-table idea, but soon the reality of it all started to sink in, and it became all too real.
Ready, boys?
Almost. Yep. Right. Yep.
Ready?
Yep.
When Anthony Bourdain was in Borneo for the second time, he participated in the slaughter of an animal, an act that's been carried out countless times a day, every day, in every country of the world throughout human history. It's a reality most of us never witness or want to. Sometimes, to eat meat, work has to be done to have that privilege. Bourdain knew that, and he knew that was part of the experience.
So I think now I have a better sense why people go vegetarians, I guess. Maybe one of the reasons. That's what I don't really know, but it's not fucking funny. It's not funny at all.
While Peter and Belinda were setting up and getting ready for our party, Zamir went out back and discovered several jars of homemade moonshine.
Don't fuck with the mirror.
Boy, gotta love that watermelon.
And after what seemed like 20 minutes and as many sips of the shine, Zamir started to fall asleep. And within no time, drifted into dreamland.
Just the perception of Mr. Putin these days.
I want to go to Chernobyl.
A challenge? Should we get the release form from your wife?
Well, given the worrying connection between angering Vladimir Putin and bad things happening, aren't you concerned?
I like doggies.
And he looks at it, he goes, it's a knick-knack, Patty Black. Give the frog alone.
Jan, you'll be my lifeguard, right? Come swim time.
I guess if I had to.
You're familiar with your Russian, right? Dostoevsky?
We have some terribly sad news to report this morning. Heartbreaking and devastating. World-renowned chef, best-selling author, award-winning host of Parts Unknown, and our friend, Anthony Bourdain, has died.
The truth is, it's because Tony died that we're doing this film. Really, Zamir had no other option.
Shambhala exists.
And for today, at least, he had a busy schedule ahead of him. After taking another quick hit of the shine, he was off with Peter to make a VIP appearance at a local celebration honoring tribal elders. And, in true Zamir fashion, he didn't waste any time to begin chatting with the guests. And, well, that's where we lost track of him for a while. Still traumatized by seeing the execution of the chicken and a belly full of moonshine, we found him 50 yards away, being his best self. And just like that, we whisked Zamir away to yet another party, and the drinks were flowing.
For some reason, I don't get it. I don't know.
Despite the fact that he had witnessed a chicken meeting its end, Zamir plowed into some fresh roasted pig. And despite being traumatized, he had no problem parking that pork inside his belly.
Right here is homemade barbecue sauce. You can't take the credit.
Remember I said Zamir really doesn't drink as much as you would think? Today was an exception. And with a belly full of pork grease, he proved himself a drinking powerhouse.
Gang raped for 35 years of my life. How do you feel? Let me just help you a little bit. I'm on a mission, John.
I love it.
And somehow, with that belly full of grease and vodka, he continued not only to remain upright, but rather conversational.
And in socialist justice, there should be enough for everyone. That's right. Just having a toast to someone we lost and someone we miss. Would you?
Well, this toast really can only go to one person. That would be Zamir's good friend, Tony.
Enjoy where you are. Life is too short.
That's the real champ right there.
The pig gave me a little bit more of a stomach feel.
And as the afternoon and alcohol wore on, Zamir dove into something that he prefers to avoid: politics.
What changed?
Oh my God, democracy changed.
I really like the way that you said everything changed.
Oh, I could just imagine. You're from Russia, right, sir?
Yeah. We're all the same. We love food, women, music, socializing.
Good times.
Peace talks, good times. I want
That's
to be
what I'm talking about.
with you.
Throughout this film, Zamir struggled with who he is and Anthony Bourdain's legacy.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Zamir is a man on a mission, a quest inspired by his friend Tony, a quest to meet people, to use the inspiration that Bourdain gave him to understand the world for himself.
Where is the cowboy
As
candy?
evening approached, we went back to Peter's place for more celebration and a campfire to wrap the day up.
P, I've come from the country which used to be kind of surrounded by the walls. The Berlin Wall, the Kremlin Wall, most of the walls fell down. Now I am in a country which seems to be trying to create the walls, create the new borders. How do you feel about it?
Our people never had borders. Our people never knew poverty. We never knew a trespass line. We never knew greed. It was always, if you needed something, here. If somebody needed something, the community came together and helped them out. But there was never a possession thing, and there was never a border. Territories that were kind of marked or, identified, but we never had a border. We never had a proprietorship. We never had a land, or, so to see a border put up and to say you can't go over to that, why? Why? Everybody should be able to walk from here to there, and then some, and back, and then with no problem. But why is there fences in between? I don't understand that, and it shouldn't be. You should be able to just, like I said, man, no fences, no borders.
So, to answer it correctly, that if I am in Arizona and want to walk to Mexico,
you should be able to walk right through. We have us as being Hongwe here. We have international free trade and forwards and backwards. There is no border there.
So basically, next time you could take me on a walk tour along the Peace Bridge to Canada.
Oh, yeah.
To peace, love, and friendship. That's what life is all about. That's the road.
Salute. Yeah.
Belinda and Peter put on a massive display of fireworks in honor of Zamir's friend, Tony. Perhaps Bourdain's biggest impact was on being a teacher to us all. He showed us other people and other cultures in a way that allowed us to understand more about ourselves. He showed us in his own jaded way a thing called authenticity, and often pointed out with disdain the things that are forced, fake, and mass-produced. As for my friend Zamir, it's not hard to see why Bourdain took a shine to him, became his friend, and took him along on some of his adventures. Zamir and Tony had their time together, and now that's done. Zamir had a lot happen in his life since Tony died. And as we neared completion on this film, tragedy struck Zamir's life yet again, with the untimely death of his son, Anton, who was named after Tony. And now there are two in Zamir's life lost to suicide. But there's one thing I know about my friend Zamir. He loves people, and his undaunted spirit keeps him going. But I think more than anything, Zamir wants to carry his message of peace to the world. And at the end of the day, I think that is his most important mission.
Gotta keep from going under. Can you hear me, oh Lord, above the roar of thunder? 'Cause ain't nobody gonna save my soul. There ain't nobody gonna save my soul. No, 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 no. Carry the load, the weight of conscience on your bones. It's heavy. Gotta bear that burden all alone. There ain't nobody gonna save my soul. No, 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 no. Carry nobody gonna save my soul.